Greetings, metalheads, and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George, and today I'm back with another new release review for you. Yet another new release to be enjoying in 2024, which is shaping up to be an incredibly metal year overall. But today's album that we're going to be talking about is a new release, a re-recording, if you like, of a classic album, of an album that has been around since 1992. So we are talking about Blind Guardian's fourth album, as I say, from 1992, but in its re-recorded, revisited form. This is Somewhere Far Beyond. Now, this majestic album is an absolute classic. I freaking love this album. Blind Guardian. If you're not familiar with Blind Guardian, they are a bit of an interesting band. They're a bit of a shape-shifting act because in their earlier years, their earlier albums, released in the late 80s, 90s, early 90s, they were a very, very fast, pretty heavy band, all things considered. You take albums like Battalions of Fear or Follow the Blind, those are really heavy albums. Not heavy metal, power metal like what they went on to become primarily, but more thrash metal, speed metal. Really fast, intense, heavy stuff that thematically and lyrically, and I guess in general terms, certainly aesthetically, was very much rooted in the fantasy, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings style and aesthetics, as I say, that they later have also maintained and adopted through the power metal albums, which I suppose they generally are. That said, the early albums are very heavy, and the heaviness did persist on album number 4 as well. But they have changed over the years, and as I say, kept their lyrical and thematic subject matter the same. Still very much clinging on to Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, but there's also a lot more sort of fantasy and all sorts of other good stuff in there as well. But they have become more of a power metal band. But they are still excellent. I freaking love Blind Guardian, absolutely love Blind Guardian, and I must admit, listening to this album, this revisited, re-recorded version of Somewhere Far Beyond has been a fantastic exercise. But I started it by revisiting the original form. Well, I say the original form, this is actually a 2017 remastered version of the original album. So it has seen a couple of remasters or reissues over the years. I know you can get nice digipack format as well with double disc. And I think the double disc does actually contain the original as well, so maybe I'll have to pick that up. But I enjoyed revisiting this, very much so, and it did make me think, is there really a need to re-record this album? Because it's not actually even for an anniversary at this stage. This is, 32 years later? So it's not quite an anniversary. Is there a real need to record this album? It was only very, very a short while into the album, listening to the revisited version, that question was answered. My doubts were quashed and quelled because this is fantastic. This sounds brilliant. And I think, going back to what I said about the progression from being a thrash speed band into a more traditional heavy metal, power metal band, you kind of lose a bit of the speed and intensity, certainly in the heaviness of the music. I wondered how that would translate to this re-recording, but I have to admit, I was not prepared for how unreasonably heavy this album actually comes across. Certainly, as soon as you're launched into that first track, the opening track, Time, What is Time? That intro is unreasonably riffy. That is an absolute riff fest. Sounds fantastic. Just a wall of solid, speedy, thrashing riffs. Absolutely love it. And the whole song overall is very grand, it's very epic, but there's a lot of riffs and guitar work there that is very firmly rooted in, I would say, some of the mid to late 80s Iron Maiden albums, most certainly. So there's definitely an influence there that I'm picking up. So as I say, it didn't take very long for my doubts to be absolutely blown aside. This sounds great. This sounds absolutely fantastic. And this is a lovely package, actually. This is a fantastic package. And it's available in different formats. Obviously, there's a nice coloured vinyl. There's also this triple disc version. So before we get too far into the tracks there, this version does include a re-recorded version, CD A. We've also got a live recording of the album being played in full. So you get a live CD and a Blu-ray footage of that performance. I believe live at Hard Rock Festival 2022 and live at Hellfest. So although this is actually released in 2024, the album anniversary, I suppose, of its 30th anniversary, was in 2022. So I suppose that this is just a little bit of a delayed release. So maybe we'll say there is a need for it, or more of a justifiable reason for it. 30 years of Somewhere Far Beyond. So I've mentioned Time What Is Time, which is an absolute classic Blind Guardian album. Absolutely fantastic and such a brilliant way to kick off the album. Sounds absolutely monumental. Hansi Kirsch, what a vocalist. That guy has an incredible voice. He is one of my favourite vocalists in metal. Absolutely, categorically. And he sounds fantastic here. And actually, over the years, Blind Guardian have had a surprisingly robust and solid lineup. I can't quite remember if everyone has been there the whole time. But Andre Olbrich is still a lead and various other guitars. We've also got Marcus Seipen on rhythms and acoustics. And then we've got Frederick Emke, I'm not sure, Emke on drums. So that's our lineup there. As I say, pretty consistent and reliable over the years. Excellent musicianship, and the thing that really stands out alongside Hansi's vocals throughout this whole re-recording and the original is actually Andre and Marcus' guitar work. Their guitar work is fantastic. The solos, the leads, the rhythms, those speedy thrashing riffs, absolutely fantastic. Freaking love it. The production on this re-recording is fantastic as well. So they've done a really good job here, whoever actually produced it. Produced by Charlie Bauerfeind and Blind Guardian. So recorded in 2022-2023. So actually, yeah, I take it back. I retract that statement. It's obviously just a little bit of a delayed release. So we know that the album sounds fantastic. We know that the musicianship is tight and that Hansi is an absolute master of a vocalist. What about these tracks then? Well, if you're a fan of the original or the original remaster, then you will not be disappointed. It does not sound significantly different in terms of the song structure and the delivery of the songs. They haven't messed with the structure. They haven't changed anything round or blown a song into an epic 25-minute grand opera or any sort of crazy business like that. Blind Guardian have stayed true to Somewhere Far Beyond, and they have kept the track sequence the same, the album length the same. Journey Through the Dark, second track there. What a stunning song. What an absolutely stunning song. I absolutely love it. It's so grand in its sound, but it's still freaking heavy. And it's just got a magical atmospheric nature to it. It's totally encompassing. Absolutely love it. Two killer tracks. Two fantastic tracks in rapid succession there. Then we get the sort of interlude piece, Black Chamber, which is pure bard music. It is stories through music, stories through song, and that is one of the key attributes of Hansi Kirsch as a vocalist, is that he presents his vocal delivery like a bard. He sounds like he's singing the stories to you. And you could say that, of course, any vocalist, any singer is going to be doing that. But it's the way that Hansi does it. He has the perfect voice for this music. Black Chamber, absolutely love it. Theatre of Pain, so epic. A soaring medley of stunning fantasy, speedy heavy metal. Absolutely love it. The choruses, the choruses throughout this whole album are so catchy. It's just hooks galore. It's sing-along, schlagen stuff. That's what this is. This is proper grab your Stein, guzzle, and sing along. This is what this is the soundtrack to. The Quest for Tanalorn, another pretty well-known, renowned Blind Guardian track. You know, it's a live feature, live favourite of the band, and it sounds fantastic. Hugely epic. It's very operatic. It's very grand. Love it. Ashes to Ashes is a bit of an anomaly track here, in that it does actually have, certainly in its intro, it's a little bit more sinister. It's got a little bit of a darker vibe and a bit of a twist in the myth there. But it works. It sounds fantastic. The chorus, again, massive, sing-along stuff. The riffs, you know them, you recognise them, full of hooks. Love it. Then we get the Bard's Song 1 and 2, effectively. We've got In the Forest and The Hobbit. So the Bard's Song In the Forest, the first part there, is absolutely haunting, hairs on end, chilling, chant along bard music. That's what that is. And I've seen a few different and heard a few different live versions of the Bard songs. Both of them just so work. They are made for the stage. And certainly in the live version of the album being played in full that we get here, it's just perfect. It's an album highlight. But In the Forest is spectacular. It's stunning. It's a slower piece, you know, it's an acoustic, a little bit sort of folky, very fantasy song. You know, it's all Middle Earth, it's all The Hobbit, fantastic stuff. It just sounds fantastic. It is an excellent, excellent track. Proper, you know, RPG fantasy video game music there. Then we get the Bard's Song The Hobbit, which is the heavier of the two. Again, full of hooks, really memorable stuff. It's got heavy parts, but it's also got easily enjoyable mid-tempo stuff as well. Just excellent, just absolutely stunning stuff. Then we get just over a minute of bagpipes, which if you don't like bagpipes, you are going to be not enjoying that one. But if you do like your bagpipes, which I do personally, you're in for a treat. The pipes of the Piper's Calling is excellent, and the perfect intro, if you like, to the final grand track, Somewhere Far Beyond, which in my opinion is the album highlight. It's a 7-minute epic, and I mean it. It's an epic. It is so grand. It is huge. The chorus and Hansi's vocal work in that track in particular is just delightful. It is stunning. Some of the best vocal work that I have heard from Hansi. Full stop. Period. And he's an excellent singer. And his vocal work on The God Machine, and before that we had Behind the Red Mirror and Twisting the Myth. Those albums, they're all great albums, and Hansi sounds brilliant. But here he sounds fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And again, that track, that re-recording had the hairs on my arms and neck standing on end. It was a proper goosebump situation. Love it. But of course the riffs, the drumming, the powerful driving drumming, love it. Absolutely stunning. So that is the album in full. 10 tracks, re-recorded, revisited. Love it. Absolutely cannot fault it one little bit. Is it necessary? Well, we get a lot of albums being re-recorded or tracks being re-recorded for various reasons, and a lot of my favourite bands have done it. Saxon have done it. We've had Destruction have done it. To be honest, we've had a lot of re-recorded material going on. A lot of bands are doing that these days, and sometimes it really does work. Sometimes it really doesn't. I would say this is an occasion where it absolutely works, and it works so well. It's perfect. It's not a replacement for this version. So diehards of Blind Guardian and certainly Somewhere Far Beyond, rest at ease. It's not a replacement. It's just a beautiful, stunning tribute to that fantastic album. Of Blind Guardian in 2022 to 2024, doing it justice. So that's the main album. The live version here, I will admit, I haven't seen the Blu-ray, but between work, family, and other commitments and doing this sort of stuff, haven't really had the time to sit down and watch the shows. But of course, we've got that option for later on. But the live album does sound fantastic. It does sound really good. It's not a pristine live album, by no means, but they are playing Blind Guardian and performing the album in full, and it sounds great. It's really enjoyable. I think that there are some clear highlights, including Time What Is Time, absolutely stands out there on that live recording. Theatre of Pain, for me, is an album highlight anyway, but it sounds fantastic in that live format. Really, really heavy. And the whole tone of the album just sounds fantastic. But also the two Bards songs there sounds so good. That's made for the live setting, for that big festival stage, that headline slot. That is what those Bard songs are made for. So overall, I would say that this does not disappoint in the least. This is a stunning, stunning re-recording. I love the original, but I love this as well. And diehard fans and even casual fans of Blind Guardian, no doubt you'll absolutely lap this up. But also, if you're not familiar with Blind Guardian, but you like your traditional heavy metal, power metal, even thrash and speed metal as well, you are definitely going to find something here that you'll enjoy, because you have a seriously good vocalist in Hansi, and you also have very talented, very adept musicians there in that lineup. So overall, I'm going to say that this is easily a 9 out of 10, because this is just fantastic. I love it. I've been listening to it a lot over the last couple of weeks since it came out, and I love it. Will not say a bad thing about it. So my friends, what are your thoughts and opinions on Blind Guardian? What are your thoughts on the revisited, Somewhere Far Beyond revisited? I keep saying re-recorded. It is re-recorded, but the album is called Somewhere Far Beyond Revisited. Get it right, George. So what are your thoughts on this one? If you haven't heard it, check it out. Tracks you want to definitely target: Time What Is Time, Theatre of Pain, and I'd probably say Somewhere Far Beyond, just because that's the real highlights for me. But also the Bard songs are real glorious tracks. So check it out and let me know what you think. Very interested to hear thoughts and opinions of others, as always. But thank you very much for watching, my friends. Do feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. The support is very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Do check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good heavy things. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay heavy.